This is Judge DW with a little presentation / event, unscheduled really.
Yeah,
At the moment.
Spontaneous.
So I'm gonna turn it over to these two guys, these two fellas here. As you know, you all know, this is Judge DW, Tim Damron, and our special guest,
Robert Daniels.
Robert Daniels, the living man. This is another one of my This will be my fourth student, and he's passing through. And today he did stamps and stuff, but he's also got all of his other stuff done and his paperwork done, and he's ready to take this walk and go forward. So I just wanted to welcome Robert Daniels, secured party creditor. He's here. So yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, and a bonus, guys, too. You know, we're talking about doing some clinics and things like that. As long as we're here in New Mexico, also decided to get his notary stamp, so he can also do the notary services, which is going to do. So, you know, and also I wanted to mention that some of you guys don't know this, but we're going to be leaving for Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we're going to be doing our first conference in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And this is a private conference. However, we're going from New Mexico to Indiana, so that's a pretty good trip on the way there. And we might be inclined some conferences in between those places at those stops, or we could make some stops either on the way there or on the way back. Get with us. You know, send me some instant messages. You know, if there's a group of you guys together, and you know, we can do this and we can help you get through this process. We can do it pretty quickly. It doesn't take long to do the paperwork stuff. What takes long is the spiritual part, but we'll help you with that process. Just maybe we help my man, Mr.
It's taking some time, but
he's getting it. He's getting it over here. So.
Well, why don't you, you already introduced yourself. Why don't you tell the people out there what you bring to the table?
What's it like?
Yeah.
Tell everybody what's it like when you wake up and you figured out that we're not crazy. Tell everybody what it's like. Because
honestly, there's a little doubt in my mind in the beginning. It was kind of I'm not. Then after a few months of watching Tim here, I kind of got a little bit more respect for it. Started a little bit more, got with him several times over this past almost 5 months now. It's blown up. Get everything a little better. I just succeed in everything I can.
That's pretty cool, man. It's kind of neat. And that front parking space stuff really does work. You can ask all these guys if you're driving around with our in like the vans. But anyway, so I guess we're placing. I think we're bumping off. Oh no, we're not bumping off. They had notice today, so good. Anyway, and another unsung hero that's been by my side actually before all of this, and has gotten all of her paperwork done. And not only has she gotten her paperwork done, but she has succeeded in helping Robert get his paperwork done, and a couple of other folks get their paperwork done. And that's my beautiful Jessica Damron. She's over there. Hold on.
I think you're getting it. There you go.
And you know what? She's been my best student, partner, my best support. So she gets most of the credit here. So just had to put her on the spot. Like, how's that? Good?
A little further.
Oh shit. Okay, now we're good.
More. I do. Keep going. Right there. You can just cut me out of it.
I just no.
I don't care.
How about you want to open the lines?
Well, let me run down real quick before question. Right now, LawfulAmerica.solution is now officially done with its construction phase. If you notice that the page is a little bit wide, we're still working on uploading a lot more documents and what have yous to it. We'll be adding to Tim, or if he gets that big, we might have to open his own section tab. So keep you posted on that. Secondly, we're looking at possibly this weekend open lawful book, possibly this weekend, maybe even Sunday, opening up Lawful Book. As you all know, we talked about the social media network, the privatized social media network. So there'll be a lot more stuff being posted there. So we don't have the all great eyes keeping tabs on us. Very interesting process that we're trying to incorporate here on this God blessed move that we have no control over. God has done so much in my life in the last month and in Tim's life. So we give all praise and glory to God. Without him, this wouldn't happen. I'd have never met Tim. I'd have never been out here. I didn't even put myself out here.
You would have never had green chili.
But yeah, with that all being said, so hopefully this weekend, Sunday, Lawful Book will be opened up, and we'll make a advertisement about it and start sending folks that are dedicated and willing to learn more about this process that we're embarking on. And with that being said, turn it over to, I guess, Q&A on the board. So if we have anybody on the Uber board, if you are muted, press star.
How are we here?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Greg Nandino.
Mr. Nando, what's cracking? How are you, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, good. I liked your last post. I saw that. That was really, that's excellent, man. That's thinking on your feet, sir. Good job.
Right on. So I have a question. It has come to my attention. Are you familiar with the Form 8281 tax form?
I have not had to use it. No, I really have. I've heard of the form, Greg, but I've never had to use it. But
Okay,
help us out.
Well, no. I was told that I needed to fill this out to go along with the 1099. I don't know if people are totally informed or not. But they've been following the Gene Keating videos, and I was looking at one last night, and I had to go to court today, so for something else, which got dismissed. Thank you, God. And I've been having a hell of a time trying to decipher what to fill into all these categories that they have on the 8281. But the 8281, the purpose of the form, if you are the issuer of publicly offered debt instruments having original issue discount, the OID, file Form 8281 to provide the information required by Section 1275C. The reporting requirements of Section 1275C were designed to facilitate the IRS's collection and publication of the OID information needed by brokers and middlemen in order for them to provide information returns to holders of OID debt instruments. That was the first sentence right there.
Okay.
And I have no idea what publicly offered debt instruments. I'm not really sure what that is.
Well, what they are is basically this. When you have a publicly offered debt instrument, that means that, like, say you have a contract and like a security agreement, and what you're doing with that security agreement is that you have to monetize it. And once you monetize something or you record it with the county, there is a QSIP number that's created, and at that point, you've taken that private contract and now you've given it public. It's a publicly offered instrument. In other words, it can be traded like a dollar bill can be traded. Like every number on every dollar bill that's out there is all recorded, and it's public, and it's allowed for public trading. So this document is more for negotiating security agreements and things like that.
Okay, so it doesn't pertain to me. in the case that I'm in. You remember what that case is, right?
You don't need it.
Okay, good, because
Yeah.
I was sweating over it, and there's other people that were questioning, what the 8281 was for exactly. I'm wondering,
Say that.
when do you? Okay, I sent everything in. I don't remember, or I don't know if you remember what exactly I sent in. I sent in, after my paperwork was rejected by the judge, and I got those papers back.
Right.
I sent in that 3949A, as well as
Okay.
a couple more.
As those letters.
What's that? What'd you say?
And you sent it, right, with that?
You were breaking up. I didn't hear you.
You sent some letters out with that too, correct?
Yes, yes. I sent
Letters.
4 letters out. 2
Okay.
one was to the Inspector General of Tax Administration, Jay Russell, whatever his name is. I think it's Jay Russell. And the other was to the Secretary of Treasury. I'm forgetting his name. And then the 2 other letters were to the IRS, two separate addresses. One was for the 3949 because it had to go to a specific address.
Right.
And the other was for the Form 56s. I sent 3. I sent the same one I had sent the judge, and then those two men that I additionally made fiduciaries with the Form 56.
Okay. Who did you make fiduciary? You got an IRS? Okay, so you did all that. Okay, 10-4. I got you. Okay. Well, I mean, right now it's just a waiting game to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
They don't go this far. The 8281, I'm not real up to speed on it, but I can tell you that it is, if you look at that OMB number up on top, that means that form has one specific path and one specific path only. Okay.
Okay.
And it's going to be for instruments only. That's not going to necessarily, and yes, you could draw some broken line and go, well, you could bounce it off this wall and come back here and then end up somewhere that's probably reasonable, but that's not the way these OMB forms work. They go one direction.
Okay.
So, and your Form 56 is going to alleviate any responsibility from this form anyway, because if you're appointing the fiduciaries, they're going to handle this stuff for you anyway.
Okay. There's one thing it's been bothering me since I sent these forms in, or since I tried filling out the Form 56. There's no place for me to put a signature, but there's a line for the person that you're appointing as the fiduciary.
Correct.
So they cannot argue me filling this in. Basically, they are bound once I've filed this with the IRS. And I was looking at one last night, and I had to. You break it up. Hello?
Yeah.
We're losing you,
Yeah,
buddy.
you were breaking up. I didn't hear a word you said. Sorry.
We didn't say anything. It
Oh,
was you
okay,
that was-
great.
Breaking up is hard to do, Greg. You're killing me, buddy. You're putting me to sleep here. Land a plane. What are we doing here? You sent off all your stuff, man. You're good. You're gonna make a bitch out of everybody in that courthouse. I promise.
Yeah.
It's okay, bro. You did great. Well, shit, man. You keep winning everything else, so why not? I mean, hey, man, you're just on the path, brother. Stand up like a kid. It's just you,
when
baby.
I'm done with this,
Switch-
Tim, I'm wanting to go to New Mexico and hook up with you. Are you still going to have me?
Oh, of course I'm gonna have you.
Huh?
And then I'll have you, but then I'll give you a hug after that. It's okay. I like you though.
Okay.
No, you're a good man. You're a good man.
I
You
love
have a
Thank
great
you very much.
heart. I love everything about your walk, brother. Yeah, man, we're gonna wrestle, bro. But all in love, bro.
Right on.
I'm
All
sorry.
right, I love you, Tim. I'll let you go.
Hey, brother, be blessed, man. Thanks for hooking me up. Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it.
Right on. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Great call you. Thank you.
All right, brother. You be blessed, man.
If I may,
Thank you, man.
if I may,
Yes, go
Tim,
ahead.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This
Hello?
is Ilya from Massachusetts. Tim, here's a question. I filed
Wonderful.
UCC3. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, we're listening.
I filed UCC1 as a utility. What is the utility? Transmittal. I filed UCC3 addendum. The website really was not taking big memory, so the whole file, I wanted to send everything, but it couldn't take everything. Do I have to file everything that you have filed the same way, or just attachment property list A?
I don't respect it all, but honestly, if I can tell you, this was all very new to me too, and I can tell you what worked for me, and so far this has worked for me. I would recommend doing the very same thing I did. Absolutely.
Okay, looks like I have to file every file one by one. That's
Just scan
real
them all in
expensive.
and scan them and put them on. Just scan them and click that little button that says where you can put them all, and then just fire that thing over or when you do your electronic filing, I think they ask you to scan them in or something, right? I think. Yeah, you just scan them in, and then they'll send them, and then you send them off, and then they send them back to you in return, and then you're golden.
Okay, I'll try that. The other question is this. After I file everything, what is the important place to send a copy of them? Commissioner of IRS and the Treasury?
No. You need to file them with the county. You need to file them with the county. I mean, what do you want to do? Are you wanting to like get into your bond and do some shopping? Is that kind of what
You're breaking up.
with me?
Anyhow,
ultimately, are you trying to get into your bond so that you can use it? Maybe do a little shopping and get some, land or something like that for yourself? Is that what you were? Was that what your intention?
No, I'm going to start filing 1099s and
Okay.
A and OIDs.
Yeah, then all that other, then you can notify the Treasury and all that other. You can do that later. You're going to have to notify the Treasury on your indemnity bond, and you're going to you need to send that out. But outside of that, that's it. Yeah, don't do the whole separation thing. Don't do that. Not yet.
So,
Because you gotta, yeah, exactly. You gotta wait.
but,
You need to assess all of your taxes in clean hands.
okay, I hope I can listen better on the recordings because it's breaking up. Last question I have is this. On 1099A, when you file the address, let's say for a mortgage, usually the mortgage is a servicer, which has a PO box. But then you're going to send the copy B to the CFO. Is it better to match the address of the CFO with 1099?
That's a good question. You know what? I mean, yeah, you could. That's a good idea. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, eventually they would forward it to him or her anyway. You could just look up the CFO's information and send all of your stuff there. But the address that you want to put on your tax form, as far as, is not going to be the CFO. It's going to be the billing, whoever's billing you.
Or the address that is on the bill? Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
You got it, buddy.
These
You
are
have a
my
blessed evening, sir.
These are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions, comments, concerns? even for our new notary service.
Any
out
questions?
here.
Robert Daniels.
Help you as best as I can.
We'll stamp you full of stamps. Get
I just hate, you know what? I just hate dressing the actual saying notary and then public. You know,
All right.
I mean, I want to say notary private or notary service. You know, we hear that so much. Notary
And they
public,
misuse
you know,
it, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's pretty much what I want to call it. So I just got my notary stamp about 2 weeks ago now. So we'll
We
put it
got
on
somebody,
file.
I think it wants to ask a question. You got
I
it.
got it.
Hello.
They never said that.
I'm sorry?
Well, they'll have number 6.
Now, we can't give you any answers if you don't have any questions.
even concerns. As you're far aware that we're having a little communication and streaming problems, that would be addressed as my first time, or I should say me and my wife's first time using we want to call it transportation services to get our property out to here. So a little delay in that. So as soon as I get my equipment out here, we'll be good to go. And God willing, that we can stream a little bit better. So, but any more, even concerns, comments, anything you want to address to me or Tim or Robert here? And welcome. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm in Kansas, and I was informed about a 1099 LTC form, and when I looked at it, it had to do with long-term care or advanced death benefits or something like that. I was wondering, how does that pertain to a prisoner that's been released?
Because prisoners, when they're a prisoner and they're locked up, they're hitting your bond for that. And what you're doing by filing the 1099 LTC is that you're basically assessing what was placed against your bond.
Even though it's supposed to be for medical purposes or whatnot, so they finagled a way to.
Well, ask
make it
yourself,
otherwise?
if you had a medical problem when you were locked up, were you able to get medical care?
Oh, I don't know if he did or not, but yeah, they probably did. Yeah.
Yep. So it is.
Oh, okay.
There
Okay.
you go, bud.
He smells real
So the thing that said that you had to be in catastrophic, like on the form, it said that you had to be like in serious condition or whatnot. So it says that you have to mark that box. So how would we justify that?
Okay, which box are you talking about?
Okay, there's a box on the form, and they said that it's mandatory that you mark the box about being, like chronically ill or something like that along that line, in order to be able to qualify for this benefit, for be able to use this form.
Well, it says actually that's box 5, and if you'll read it, it says to check it if applicable or applicable.
Okay. Okay. I just read it online and I just see all that. And then we did a 3949A like at the first part of this week. So being that we've done that, now if the case is new, like let's say maybe it's only a couple of months old, would they be able still to find out about that, or would it be something that they would have to wait to check it out? Talk about the IRS.
If you see something that's fraudulent going on, you have a duty and you have a right to report it. And I don't think it really matters when you report it, because they're going to be in it either way. And they usually get on it pretty quick, 10 to 15 days, 16 days or so. They'll be on it.
Okay. All right. So we sent like about 6 of them for different cases and different situations. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a Wednesday night of playing footsie.
Oh, yeah. Not a lot of talking.
Utah. Go ahead. Utah.
How tall are you, Utah? Just kidding.
435.
Russ. Fine.
I hope they win.
Now, please keep in mind, we do have a regularly scheduled program Saturday at
5 o'clock.
it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Every Saturday night, it'll be the Escaping the Corporate System with your host, Tim Damron. I guess I'm going to be jumping into it. So Tim Damron and Judge D.
Right.
Being said, now this is not a scheduled event. Like I said, this is more or less a breaking news to introduce buddy here, Robert. So
And letting everybody know, we're going to be hitting the road. We want to come and see you. We
Yeah.
want to help you. I want to pray with you. I want you to walk through the doors like this guy is about to do. My wife is there as well. And, you know, this is a path that's not meant for everybody to do. And not everybody's going to be able to do this. But those of you that want to do this and you want to do it right and you want to do it with clean hands, you know, I want to try to help you. We all want to try to help you as much as we can. So let us know where you are. And if there's enough of you, we could try to condense some of you, maybe to move to another, you know, to travel to another town for the day or whatever. We can do it. And if you guys want to do this, man, we can walk through this door and we can make this a lot easier for you. I know this stuff is really overwhelming. I know it scrambles your brain and it makes your head hurt. It used to make mine hurt a lot. So bad I couldn't sleep. So it's totally normal. We'll help you through the process. Show you what's up. There's someone fighting with their phone, and it
Yeah.
sounds like the phone is winning.
if you
cannot
can,
hear
we
a
ask you,
thing.
could you mute yourself out, please, if you're having problems in the background?
Or stop throwing your phone at
Yeah.
your wife. She might complain. She might call the cops.
Yeah.
What happened? You might have to contract. It'd be really funny if a cop rolls up to your house and says, "Driver, come out of your house." What?
Driver, come on.
What would you do?
Pretty much what they tell you.
Yeah, right. As long as they got a loaded gun, anything, I'm fine. I'm a driver. I'm a monkey driver. Whatever. Under duress. Well, if they got a gun pointed at you, you're anything they want. As long as they got the gun pointed at you, it's under duress. It doesn't count anyway. And that is true. I'm going to tell you guys that is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. My daughter I haven't seen in forever, and I actually found out her mom actually didn't change her birth certificate, so I'm still her dad. And that's what's up. Not that I wasn't before, but you know what I mean. The paper.
The paper.
It was paperwork.
Wow. Any more questions, concerns?
All right. Well, it's happy hour at Sonic. So.
May I?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Is it me? Yes, huh?
Yeah, this
Yes.
is loud and clear. Go ahead.
Tim, I couldn't hear you very well with the UCC 3, so I filed things. What do I send to the Treasury one more time? Thank you.
You're going to send your indemnity bond to the Treasury.
Only the indemnity bond?
Indemnity bond. You will be
That's
sending.
the only one.
That is it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And oh, by the way, if you do send the other stuff, I tried it and I sent everything, and you know what they did? They sent it back, and I got some crazy phone call from some lady, and she was talking to me like I was the furniture that was talking. So just to avoid some of that real uncomfortable stuff, no, that is the answer. Since we got a brief pause in a moment, one of the things I've been seeing is we've been having a lot of some growing pains, some changes, and it's all new for me because I didn't even know any of this stuff existed. I didn't even know there was this many groups out there. I thought it was just me and like a handful of people.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So, but you know, there just seems to be so many trolls out there, and they're there to bind you. They're there to. So this is going to be the religious part of this that we're going to talk about tonight. But you know, they're there to bind you, and really on a spiritual level, you know, bad doesn't want you to succeed, and good wants you to succeed. So we have to have proper balance between bad and good, and you know, God's the only one that's going to give you that balance. So those of you that are trying to do this process and you're trying to do it without God, man, it is going to be really, really, really hard for you, because I'm going to tell you 70% of this, 70% of everything that I say is 100% spiritual. It truly is. It starts spiritual in the morning and it ends spiritual at night, you know, all BS aside and playing and everything else. So, you know, it just, you guys got to embrace that part of it. I know I got a message from someone and he told me, I'm watching your videos and I get it and I get it and I get it, but I just don't understand it. I don't know how to apply it. And it's just because that part of you that wants to apply it is just not awake. And you need to spend some time with God, you know, and he's going to make that clear for you. Oh, somebody breaking through.
Hey,
Hello.
Tim.
Hello. Is this Gregory again?
Hey, it is. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just had a question.
cents, buddy.
Well,
That's 50 cents a minute. You got to call to the 1-900 number after this, and then it's 50 cents for the first minute, 3 minutes. You know how it is.
okay, I didn't know.
I know. I'm just
just
picking on you. What's up, brother? What's up, man?
okay. You know, something that's been bothering me. It's like I wanted to know, how do I find the monetary amount, you know, money wise, for a certain code? You know, like my codes, like, you know, for the, you know, I couldn't figure out how to figure out how much they would be dinging my bond for that particular code.
For what code?
The crime that I'm accused of.
Oh, you have to ask.
Okay, so I can't figure it out on my own online somehow.
You can ask the judge. You can ask the judge, or you can call the clerk and ask him how much the bid and performance bonds are that are on this case, and they'll tell you.
Okay, and that would reflect how much they would be dinging my bond for if I was incarcerated.
That's exactly no. That's what they're dinging your bond so they can incarcerate you. And then after they get done incarcerating you, which it sounds like you're planning for, which you shouldn't be doing, but okay, let's just play that. So
I'm not understanding how it works. That's why.
What, are you already planning? You're just going to take some 1099 LTCs with you? Just kidding. But I got my stuff with me, Judge. I'm ready to go. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to assess these taxes, damn it. Well, you do that, didn't you? But anyway, it's probably not going to happen anyway. But just call the clerk and ask the clerk, because she knows everything. Trust me.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right, brother. Good
Sorry
here.
to take up more of your time.
Oh, come on, anytime, brother. You're good. You're fine. As long as we're on the air, we're good. It's what we're here for.
All right, brother. I'll let you go.
Love you, man. That's my brother right there. I love that dude. Anyway, like I said, look us up.
Probably just feedback.
If I may,
Oh,
Holy cow.
yes, you may.
Tim, it's about property taxes.
Okay.
Property tax doesn't come with a remittance.
They did or did not?
They do not.
Okay. Why not?
Do I file them?
Well, wait a minute. It did not come with a. No, they have to come with a remittance because they're hitting your bond. Or did
They
send you
don't.
like a little card, or do they send you like a little card?
Yeah, it comes in kind of little cards.
Okay. Just A for V that, and send them a copy of it, and let them know that that's what. Let them know that you deposit it, and then deposit that guy with a 1040V. And just do it with all your
Okay.
taxes.
Now, who is the CFO of the town?
That's who you got to look up. You can
No CFO.
go to the Secretary of State's office and look them up. Go to the website.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's see you there with that. Go to the Matrexit state office and look them up.
Come again? Are you asking a question? Okay. Any more questions?
Dimitri.
Anybody?
Dimitri. See what this is? Brownie.
Wow.
Hey, I got a quick question about the bonds.
I'm going green tonight,
Yes,
brother.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, on the what did you say it was a bid bond and a performance bond on behalf of a criminal case, correct?
And on any case.
Yeah.
So
On any-
even it's any case where the family court or whatever, right?
So much as a ticket.
Anything.
Yeah.
There's always
Okay. So on behalf of the bonds, could I utilize my lawyer and be like, hey, what are the bid bonds and performance bonds in this case? Could I do that?
yes, you can. You can call the clerk and ask.
Okay. And then on behalf of me obtaining that information, what do I do with it after that? Do I bid higher? Do I bid lower? Do I say, hey, get rid of this stuff?
Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. There's a lot of ways you could do it, actually. What kind of case is it?
Okay.
What kind of case is this?
This is a criminal and family case.
A what?
Criminal and summary.
A criminal case?
Yeah, summary, but yeah.
Yeah, criminal and family case.
Oh, family case. Okay. Ooh, family, I don't know. Criminal.
No, family works the same way.
Oh, that's okay.
Unless the other litigant is
Okay.
personal.
Okay.
Family
Let's do the criminal side then. Let's do the criminal.
Well, no, I mean, I can do both. I mean, I can help you with both. It's easy. Okay.
Open this after I get a new carpet. I'm getting a new carpet.
Who's that?
I have no idea. Dimitri. Dixie's
Anyway.
busy. All right. Hold on it. Hold on 1 minute, sir. Not anything on the board.
Ooh.
That's odd. Like,
No, I'm not.
that just goes to show you, before we answer this guy's question, shows us that we must be putting something out there, something very important that, the unseen.
I can't put no more. I'm gonna have to put maybe $1 or something. Everything is.
New York. What's his name? Louis.
Oh, Louise. All right. Anyways, we'll go back to the gentleman's question about the criminal case now. He'll also address with the family.
Hey, check it out. I'll do both, bro. This is
Okay.
really easy. Okay, on your criminal case, call them, call the county clerk, find out how big their bond is, and then do you have any kind of representation, or are you by yourself?
I do have representation.
You do. Okay. So
Yeah.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell your attorney. You're gonna ask your attorney to find out how big the bid and the performance bond is that's placed against you. And then you're going to tell him and you're going to pay him. You're going to have to because you're already in the game, okay? So you can't step 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So because you're in the game, what you need to do is you need to go get a bond, and they're cheap. They're really, really cheap. Like I was talking to a guy today, and there's a place here locally here in Albuquerque I can get bonds in. I mean, it's like $40 and you can get a pretty good sized bond. And then basically it's just a bond game. And then you just give that to the attorney and say, you need to file this. And I don't care if you're guilty or not. If your bond is bigger, the judge is going to take your bond because it's more commerce. And that's the same thing goes with your.
Okay, so after he takes my bond, say he does accept my bond because it's bigger, what do I do after that?
He's going to accept your bond. That's how you bribe the judges. That's how it's done.
So once he
Trust me, that's
accepts
the
my
game.
bond, it's pretty much a.
What's
okay.
that?
So
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
much I just need to outbid the DA.
That's right.
All right. Well,
That's
cool.
it.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
how
it.
it's done, brother. I mean, if you want to just crack the whip and make it simple. And hey, on your family case, is he or whoever your opponent is, are they pro se or do they have an attorney?
Actually, there's no opponent. It's me versus the state.
Oh,
Well, it's me and my fiance versus the state.
same thing. Find out how big the bond is. And go
All right.
post a bigger one. That's it.
Okay.
That's
Sounds
it.
good. Appreciate it, man. Thank you much.
Commerce, brother. You be blessed. All right.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, I think we should close up shop.
Yeah.
It's been fun, and the brownies are kicking in. I'm going to wish you guys a beautiful evening. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
She slid right in. Boy, you got lucky.
yeah, hello? Go ahead.
Hello? My name is Verdell. I'm from Florida. I have a question. I did a court case in against a judge. I had turned in a 56 form, and they sent the arrest. They sent the warrant in the mail.
Conference locked.
And I
Go ahead. Continue.
okay. They sent the warrant in the mail. It said voluntarily. So by me answering the warrant, turning myself in, was out of line for that.
Wow. Volunteering to turn yourself in on warrant. Is that what I'm getting at?
When did you get it?
I received the warrant in the mail
When?
last month.
Okay. Number one, if you ever get anything like that in the mail that you don't like, the first thing you do is you write on there, I do not consent, I refuse to contract, and you send it back to him within 3 days. If you guys go to my page, the Tim Tools page, you're gonna see that one of the first letters is up there, and it was actually written to a judge, sent a summons, said, hey man, you need to come to court. No, we're not doing that because this, and this. And the judge accepted it, he filed it, and that's what they're doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So to the same respect, now where you're at right now is that you've accepted the fact that there's a warrant for you. And see,
Right.
it's all a game of acceptance. So what kind of case is it?
I did a 56 on the judge.
No, what's the charge, huh?
But I was helping somebody else on the case, and they said that I signed the 56 form on behalf of the judge, and they called it forgery for a 56 form.
Yeah, well, it is forgery. You're not supposed to sign that form. That's for him to sign, him or her to sign.
I didn't. I was showing the guy the example. I sent him papers to show him how it go for examples. I didn't say turn this one in to the judge.
Well, let me tell you, these forms are very specific, and these judges know how to use them, and they don't like to be schooled, and that's probably what happened. So, did you file anything with the IRS?
Repeat that?
Did you file anything with the IRS?
Yeah.
You did.
I
So
did a 1099A. I did a 1099 OID. I did a 3949.
Okay, good. So you've done all that, and they're still sending you. I don't understand. Did you do a Form 56 when you went to
Yeah.
when it went to the IRS?
Yeah, I did a 56.
Did you sign it?
Yeah.
Then you did something bad. You need to redo the process and read your forms, and you can't sign those forms. But it's too late now. You've already accepted it. The best thing you can do right now is try to get a judgment from them and A for B the judgment. And go to my, I don't remember which show it was. I want to say the 1026 show. We talked a lot about assessing taxes. So if you look at the October 2026 show, it's a tough one to find, but it is out there. Listen to that show on how to do your stuff, and you'll see that these forms have one path and one path only. And when you start going and you start using these forms and expecting them to do different paths, then it creates a problem. And I think that's kind of this. That's why you're having trouble with the process. And have you gotten any calls from the IRS?
I got a visit from the agent, IRS agent,
Holy cow!
and the FBI.
How'd that go?
So it went good. They told me don't write no more negotiable instruments and the whole lot because something's going to change. Because I was putting out a lot of negotiable instruments. That's how I was able to get a couple of vehicles off the lot.
Uh-huh.
But the FBI told me no putting them more out there in circulation.
Oh boy.
So they gave you a warning, more or less.
Yeah.
Boy, lucky.
Yeah.
That's really lucky. How did you do? Did you do a 1040 process and do a TTNL transaction?
Yeah, TTL transaction.
Yeah. Interesting. Are we friends on Facebook?
Yeah.
Can you send me an instant message and remind me of this conversation so that I can talk, so I can pick it up and maybe have a private conversation with you about this?
Yeah, because your process was almost right, but you said a few things that was incorrect when you said you and your wife went in there. You can't take these negotiable instruments in there and expect to drive off with a vehicle. You have to run it through the mail with a registered ID number. That red number, registered number, means something.
Yeah,
Let me just say it like that. It really means something. But I can't tell you on the phone because I signed a piece of paper with the FBI that, you know.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, just hit me up on Facebook. I want to talk to you about that. Because we did it, but we just didn't do it. Remember, and I told you that I actually didn't have success at it. I haven't done it right. I haven't perfected it yet. So.
Right, you just only missing two steps. I was listening to you. There's just two steps. You got it turned around. That's all.
Awesome. So hit me up on Facebook and we'll have that talk. And how are you doing? Is your UCC and stuff filed?
Yes, it's filed. And I have another thing. But Tim, my thing is with this here judge thing, I went to court December the 5th. He said he would dismiss the case provided me and the prosecutor can come to an agreement, meeting of the minds. So we got a meeting of the minds. She said she would send me the information in the mail. So Monday went by, another Monday done came, which is this week, and I haven't received the information for her dismissing the case. Because I gave her some documents, and the judge told me not to say that in front of the people. He wanted me to do it in private. So he dismissed the case, but I just haven't received the paperwork, and I'm asking you, do you think I was wrong for going in there? That was my question.
No, I think what we need to do, what you need to do is you need to send the judge an order, and and I'll help you with it. We need to draft an order for your case, and then we need to make him sign it.
Okay. Okay, I'll hit you up.
Hit me up and I'll help you out with that, and I'll bang one out for you, and I'll send one over to you so you can just kind of doctor up and just go file it, and you'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you, and have a good evening.
You got it. Have a blessed evening. Thanks for calling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey guys, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So we just sat in on a chapter meeting with the marshals tonight, and an assembly, and we're kind of new and just chatted with them and met them, and we told them about my brother's circumstances. He's got a securities case where the state has prosecuted and convicted him for securities. He's been out. He served 469 days in prison.
Ooh.
Then he was out on appeal. He recently lost the appeal, and he has a hearing on Friday to take the next step. And now that he's lost the appeal, the next step is presumably that they'll send him back to jail to continue his sentence. By the way, it's been a bad deal the whole time. They convicted him for events that behavior he didn't do. His partner did, and he was just near the crime, but they his partner pled and testified against him falsely. So he's had 10 years of dealing with this and just really gotten smashed. And so now Friday's coming up, and we're looking at our options. And in this assembly, they said we ought to dispute the jurisdiction of the court. And we're looking for more perspective on that. And
You're already
maybe
in.
procedurally, what issues we need to be aware of to do that successfully.
Well, if you
Do
go
you
with
guys
a
have any feedback on this type of situation?
I do, and I have experience with this too as well, in that regard. So basically, see, the reason you can't challenge jurisdiction is because you guys are filing stuff, and if you're going to challenge jurisdiction, you have to challenge it right up front. So that's going to be your first no-no. But what I would
okay, go ahead.
But what I would do is go ahead and start assessing all the taxes in regards to the case, being that your appeal has been exhausted, obviously, and if it turns into a no commerce situation, oh, and another thing too, this is what I told the other caller too. Find out how big the bond is that's been posted against it. You know, the bid and performance bond. Find out.
I'm not aware of a bond.
There is
that's
one
been posted against him.
There is. Trust me, it's all commerce. It's not about what he did. It has
He's
nothing to
important.
do with securities fraud. Securities fraud is just it's a tax code. All this stuff is all tax code. It's all about taxes. So what they've done is they said, okay, you violated this tax code, and we're going to bring you in and we're going to prosecute you and do commerce against your bond based on this tax code. That's going to be our reason for commerce. So what happens is the other side puts up a bid and performance bond, and then you hire an attorney, and then if he's a really good one, he's going to go put up a bigger bond than the other bond. And then that's how OJ walked away from, a murder case. That's exactly how it happens. And it's just that simple.
Okay.
So
we need to identify the bond amount tomorrow and post a bigger bond.
And go get a bigger one.
And I just stepped on the call right when you were explaining that. Can you give me a rundown on why they honor the bigger bond over the smaller bond? That's just it?
It's commerce. It's money.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, it's a legal way to
Conference locked.
Basically, it's a legal way to bribe the judge. Totally. Because he's going to take your deal because it's more money. That's how you can go into court and be completely right and get completely run over. That's why you guys are having the problem you're having now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then, and he has representation, obviously, right?
Yes. And so that attorney will know it's court appointed, but he'll know how to deal with a bigger bond and what to do with that, huh?
You're gonna need to sit him down and have a little chit chat with him and let him know that you know what's up. And then you're gonna tell him he's gonna get a bigger bond. And where do I need to go get that bigger bond? Go get the bond. And you bring it back to that attorney and you tell him he better file it. And if he doesn't file it, then you do a 3949A on him too. And he has to.
3949A.
That's right. Because he's basically he's involved in a fraud against this bond. They're not saying that this is commerce to you guys. They've got you guys all twisted up thinking that you did something wrong. When in fact, all you did really is kick over a few flowers in the land of Oz, and they're plastic anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So there are securities fraud, is blah, 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 blah. I mean, if you look at a money order, that's securities fraud because you're telling somebody to create money with no accounting. That's securities fraud.
Right.
So, and it happens every day. So just go file the bigger bond and call it a day, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Go get a bigger bond, talk to the representation, tell them to file it. And then by Friday, everything's all in order and the attorney tells the judge, hey, we have a bigger bond. What does the attorney say at that point?
Oh, they'll meet in their little office back there and they'll concoct some little plan and they'll hand out, okay, well, I guess you get to play this part today. It's like the school play. and then you hand and you play this part, you hand and you play this part, and that's it. And then they come out and all the actors come out and the show begins and they turn on the microphones and the videos and the smoke and the cameras and all the bullshit and everything else. And everybody claps and prays and cries, and it's just a big production just to go after his bond. That's all it is.
Yeah, they have to do that.
They don't want him, they want his money.
Exactly. And then when they lock him up, since he's done some time, you guys need to file a 1099 LTC for him as well.
1099 LCT?
L is in Lucy, T is in Tom, C is in Charlie. And you're going to file an LTC with them. And then so for all the money that his bond has been hit for the time that he's been incarcerated, he's going to get it back. And the reason why he's going to get it back is because those losers didn't pay taxes on it, and the IRS is going to see that you're assessing it, and then they're going to say, "Oh, that's free money," and they're just going to take it and give it back to him. And I am told it is about $4,800 a month.
So you just
a month or a day, I've heard, or something like that.
It's $4,800 a month. Now, if it's a jail situation, it's usually about $300 a day, or $300 every 12 hours, which is constituted as a day. Typically.
Gotcha.
It's just a commerce game, man. You need to sit his attorney down, and I know he's court appointed. But, just run out and go get the bond, dude. It doesn't cost much. You can get a $10,000 bond for $40 or $50.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out and go get a bond and play this role. Is there I'm ready to move on that. Is there anyone I can talk to following up tomorrow to make sure I'm really crossing my T's and dotting my I's and making this happen correctly? I'd hate to do a half job and then get run through the ringers because I missed something,
Just send me an instant message on Facebook and I'll hit you up. Just remind me who you are and about the bond stuff and all that, and I'll hit you up. I promise. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. And what's your name? I don't.
I'm sorry, Tim Damron, or you can hit up DW. He's new.
I'm getting there.
He'll just send you to me, so it's okay. Or you can hit up my wife.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got a blurry line, I guess. Tell me your name again, or how you spell it, or whatever.
It's going to be Tim Emmett, E-M.
Tim Emmett?
Yes, Damron, D-A-M-R-O-N.
Damron.
Yes, sir. D-A-M-R-O-N. And where are you calling from?
Emmett Cameron.
No, it's Emmett.
Cameron.
Like player? You know, like the guy that plays football? Emmett Smith? E-M-M-E-T-T. I just spelled mine a little different.
Okay, gotcha.
You got it.
I sure appreciate the input. That's excellent. Thank you for the time.
And one last question. What's your name real quick?
My name's Sam Howell.
Okay, you're part of the Assembly on Utah, right?
Yeah, Brigham City.
Okay, grand jury or marshal? Grand jury, yeah, Colorado Assembly. Yeah.
Is Greg a marshal? You asked?
Yeah, are you marshal?
No, not yet. We've, we just were introduced to them this week and a few days ago, and
so you're establishing
said hi for the first time today.
Okay, you're establishing your assembly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is something that I've entertained very shortly here. Me being a continental land jurisdiction justice here, which has fallen a lot of processes and entertaining a lot, and we kept bumping our heads on walls here trying to figure out a cure to our remedies. And God has revealed a big, huge door to exit out of Oz, more or less. And the outcomes, the cures that Tim has been producing, and the little things I've been using in my life, and seeing these results, seeing these cures happening right in front of me, shows validation on the remedy that Tim brings forth. So concluding this, I would say, spread the word, spread the message on this, okay?
I agree totally. We're working on that 100%. And first step of that is learning the word. And we've learned a lot of facets lately, and this is kind of a new one for us. So we're working on this and going to pursue it full force.
All right, well then just head over to Lawful America. Solution.
What was that?
It's going to be Lawful America dot solutions.
.solution.
Yeah, we all have links on our pages too.
Yes. And you'll find Tim's Tools to Success. You'll find a whole bunch of stuff on there, and it'll help you on your way. Okay?
Awesome.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's great. I sure appreciate you guys. Thanks a ton.
Yep, no problem. All right, guys and gals, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We didn't plan on being too long on the air tonight. It wasn't even a scheduled event. But we just want to introduce our buddy here, Notary public/private here, morally private.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no problem. And
Secure party creditor.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
First one, I think.
Getting closer.
No, fourth.
Fourth. Okay.
It's my fourth one.
But the youngest. Though.
And the youngest.
Definitely the
period.
youngest. Definitely the youngest.
Youngest, and what do you think? Handsome ladies? All right.
Getting there.
There's
something I could say.
We'll see you. We'll see you this Saturday. 7. I'll have it advertised on Facebook and all over. So have a good night. Take care. God bless. Be safe.
You guys have a good night.
Yep.
Call recording off.